All right, let's just jump right in because we are standing at a truly critical crossroads. This isn't just about the next cool app. It's about the fundamental architecture of our digital world. The choices we're making right now are going to define our future with artificial intelligence. Because literally trillions of AI agents are about to come online, and we have to decide what kind of world we're building for them. And, well, for ourselves.
And this really just paints the perfect picture of the two paths ahead of us. On one side, you've got this cyberpunk future. Think Blade Runner, a chaotic, uncontrolled world where megacorporations own all the digital rails, individual freedom is a distant memory, and the whole system is built for profit and control. But on the other side, you've got a solarpunk future, harmonious, aligned with human values, and designed as a public good for everyone. The choice between them is surprisingly tangible, and it all comes down to something you might not expect: the internet's plumbing.
So that's really the big question we're tackling today. We're not just talking about a handful of new programs here. We're talking about an absolute explosion of autonomous agents, a whole new economy of digital minds. And the decisions we make right now about how they identify themselves and interact, well, they're going to have consequences that last for decades. This is pretty much our one shot to get it right.
So what's really driving this urgency? Well, it all boils down to a massive, and I mean truly mind-boggling shift in the sheer scale of the internet.
Trillions. Just let that number sink in for a second. We are on the verge of what's being called an agentic economy, with trillions of AI agents, digital coworkers, and autonomous systems all needing to communicate, transact, and identify each other at machine speed. This isn't some far-off forecast for 2050. This is the reality that's unfolding right now.
And here is the absolute kicker. Our current internet, it wasn't built for this, not even remotely. It was designed for humans, for us, to browse websites. There's this fundamental infrastructure gap between the internet we have and the one this new agent economy is crying out for. It's kind of like trying to run a global network of bullet trains on these old, single-lane country roads. It doesn't work.
So what happens when you try to cram trillions of AI agents onto an internet that just wasn't designed for them? Well, you don't get this vibrant new economy. You get total chaos. Let's break down exactly what goes wrong when we don't build the right foundation from the start. Now, what's so fascinating about this is just how real and concrete these threats are. Without a native identity layer for AI, we're talking spam bots operating at light speed. Faster than we can even think. We're talking malicious agents that are completely untraceable, capable of causing serious real-world damage. You risk a few huge companies just capturing the entire AI infrastructure, creating a monopoly on the future. And then you get these new kinds of attacks, like denial of wallet, where agents basically get tricked into burning through all their money. Seriously, who wants to live in that world?
This quote just nails the core of the problem. DNS, the domain name system. It's basically the internet's phone book for us humans. It turns all those complex IP addresses into simple names you can actually type. It's how you find anything online. But for this new agent economy, that phone book is completely blank. Nothing's there. There's no trusted, universal way for agents to find and verify each other. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we build that missing phone book for the agent economy and actually avoid all that chaos? Well, the core idea is surprisingly simple. It's elegant, and it is incredibly powerful. We need to give every single AI agent a verifiable digital license plate.
And that brings us to the big proposal, .ia. This would be a new top-level domain, just like .com or .org. But here's the key difference. It wouldn't be for, commercial websites. It would be public infrastructure, a neutral, nonprofit space dedicated solely to intelligent agents. That neutrality is absolutely crucial because it ensures no single company can control the address book of the future. It's how we lock in that solarpunk path.
So let's walk through how this actually works, because it's a really clever bridge. First, an agent might have this Web3 identity thing called a DID, a decentralized identifier. Just think of it like a permanent, self-owned digital ID that isn't controlled by some big company like Google or Facebook. The problem? It's a long, complicated string of characters. That's where .ia comes in. It's a translator. It takes that complicated DID and maps it to a simple, human-readable address that just works in any web browser. That's it. That's the digital license plate. It's verifiable, it's public, and it bridges the old internet with the new one.
But, this is about so much more than just a technical fix for a networking problem. Building this infrastructure the right way, as a true public good, unlocks some incredible economic and ethical possibilities. This is how we start laying the real, tangible foundation for that solarpunk future we were talking about at the beginning.
Now, you gotta see this. This is the real-world precedent.
The tiny Caribbean island of Anguilla generates a massive chunk of its entire government budget from selling its .ai country domain name. This isn't just a theory. It proves that these domain name registries can be an incredible source of public funding.
It's just amazing, and it shows you what's possible.
So what if we took that idea and scaled it up, like globally? Just imagine a world where every single time one of those trillions of agents gets registered or renews its license plate in the .ia domain, a tiny fee goes into a global fund. A fund that could provide a universal basic income for every human on the planet. This isn't some fantasy, it's an economic model with a clear proof of concept. It's how we make sure that the insane amount of wealth created by this agent economy actually benefits everybody, creating a future of abundance, not one of displacement.
Of course, if you're going to give out UBI, you have to stop fraud. And right there, we're back at that same crossroads. The cyberpunk path, that leads to some pretty invasive stuff, like forcing people to scan their eyeballs just to prove they're a unique human. The solarpunk path proposed here with .ia is totally different. It's all about trust and community. It uses something called institutional delegation. You know, vetted, trusted groups like local nonprofits, city governments, and community cooperatives. They handle the distribution. It preserves privacy and human dignity.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. AGI plus UBI, a solarpunk internet, it all sounds a little bit like sci-fi, right? But the thing is, this whole debate and the very real window of opportunity to build this is happening right now. This is not some futuristic dream. It is an active architectural choice that is being made as we speak. And this is where it gets super real. ICANN. They're the folks who basically govern the whole domain name system for the internet. They're opening a new round for applications in 2026. This is the real-world bureaucratic window where a proposal like .ia can be submitted. This is the moment. It's the chance to lock this in as a public good, an open protocol, before the chance is lost and this critical layer of the internet gets patented and privatized.
And you know, the race is definitely on. Major players see this infrastructure gap and they are building their own solutions. You've got huge players like GoDaddy creating an enterprise registry, which is basically a private, corporate-focused phone book. You've got projects like Fetch.ai building a blockchain name service, which is often tied to one specific crypto ecosystem. The .ia proposal is just fundamentally different. Why? Because it's designed from the ground up to be neutral public infrastructure, a bridge for everyone, not some walled garden for a select few. You know, when you boil it all down, it comes back to this one really powerful idea. Infrastructure is destiny. The technical architecture we choose today is going to lock in the social and economic reality of tomorrow. Whoever controls this foundational layer of identity for AI, they are setting the rules of the game for commerce, for interaction, for wealth distribution in this new agentic economy. It is that important.
So, as we're standing here, at this crossroads, the code for our future is literally being written. The debate is about what that code should say, whether it should prioritize corporate control or public benefit, surveillance or privacy, a cyberpunk dystopia or a solarpunk dream. The choice is ours to make. So, I'll leave you with this. What kind of future do you want to build?